Hi there. What if I told you that there's a way to sort of predict an earthquake? I'm Jomel Maroma, and in this video I'm going to talk about a cheap early earthquake warning system called Zismos. Unless you've been living under a rock, you've probably heard that there's an impending magnitude 7.2 earthquake that could strike in Metro Manila now. The infographic in the middle by the Japan International Cooperation Agency shows that an estimated of 33,500 people are going to die in Metro Manila due to structural failure alone. If you think of it, these figures are really alarming, considering that they do not include casualties due to after effects such as landslides and tsunamis yet. In general, earthquakes pose a national challenge in the Philippines because a lot of people live near fault lines or areas of significant seismic activity. Now, you may be wondering, if it's scientifically impossible to predict when an earthquake exactly strikes, then how is it possible to have an earthquake warning system? To answer this question, a cursory knowledge of seismic waves is required. An earthquake produces three kinds of waves: P waves, S waves, and surface waves. P waves are longitudinal waves and travel parallel to the direction of propagation. They are generally non-destructive and are often heard rather than felt. S waves, on the other hand, are transverse waves that travel perpendicular to the direction of propagation, and as such are destructive because they bring about shaking. Lastly, we have surface waves that travel around the surface of the Earth. They are also destructive. These waves do not come all at once, as they differ in speeds. The P waves, being the fastest, arrive first, followed by the S waves, and finally the surface waves. There is a time delay of a few seconds to a minute between the arrival of P and S waves, and this time delay allows for some sort of a warning system. Early earthquake warning systems are commercially available, but they are very expensive. Like the one by the US Geological Survey costs around $30,000 to build. This is what motivated the team of Zismos to build sensors based on microelectromechanical systems, or MEMS. MEMS accelerometers are pretty much everywhere. They can be found on almost every smartphone and tablet. They are the reason why you could tilt your phone and the orientation of the screen would follow. MEMS accelerometers detect acceleration and the X, Y, and Z axis, and are pretty sensitive. So how do MEMS accelerometers work? In a nutshell, it is a network of capacitors consisting of stationary and movable plates. This is the movable plate. It moves when there is displacement. These plates, on the other hand, are stationary. We know from classical electrodynamics that capacitance is determined by the geometry of the plates, specifically the ratio of their area and the distances between them. When there is no motion, the middle plate is exactly between the two movable plates. However, when there is movement, denoted by the variable x, capacitance 1 and 2 would not be equal. This difference could be detected by the MEMS accelerometer. By designing the appropriate circuit, the displacement value could be converted into an acceleration value. MEMS accelerometers are really sensitive and could detect movements of up to 20 picometers. This is Patalgazi Yildirim. He is the founder and acting CEO of Zismos. According to his estimates, each sensor would only cost $100 to build. He plans to rely on crowdsourcing and on the generosity of the crowd to donate a small space in their homes where Zismos could place its sensors. So how will the whole system work? Like, how will it know if the rumbling detected by the sensor is due to an earthquake and not just a passing truck nearby? In essence, when the sensor detects a rumble, it sends information about the time and magnitude of the shaking to a cloud server. Algorithms will then check the status of the neighboring sensors to see if they also detected a similar disturbance. If they do, the system will calculate for a hypothetical epicenter, original time, and magnitude. If the magnitude calculated is greater than 4.0, the system will issue an alert. The idea of using MEMS accelerometers in earthquake sensors is not exactly a new innovation. In fact, I found a similar setup by a group of Japanese inventors headed by Tao Zheng. In 2014, they developed a wireless earthquake alarm system based on MEMS accelerometers. The difference between this one and Zismos is that this alarm system is standalone and is specifically designed with corporate buildings in mind. Zismos, on the other hand, is more ambitious as it dares to cover a wider geographical range by linking a number of MEMS accelerometers to the internet. Once again, I'm Jomel Maroma and my report is on Zismos, a cheap early earthquake warning system. Thank you for watching.